Okay, so I have a very in-depth message for a very specific collective here. I do feel like whoever this collective is for, you are a star seed. Okay, you may relate to the Lemurian star seed collective specifically, where you are a truth speaker. Okay, so some of your, if you're not familiar, but a Lemurian star seed, they are blue in color. They are all about authenticity and speaking their truth, and just being like their authentic expression triggers other people. So you may resonate with you're just being yourself and it irks the heck out of people, just you being you. And that's because you trigger people into healing. You show people the truth. Even if you don't say anything and you're just existing, you shed light on people's shadows, and some people love it, some people can't stand it. So you may have dealt with a lot of haters in your life. So that's just like confirmation, just a little bit of side note for the Lemurians. But anyways, I'm gonna get into the message here. So there is this message here about being seen, and you're meant to be seen in a big way. You're meant to be seen in a big way, and you are in the process of like working on that, like trying to build that, right? Or like trying to put yourself out there more and like be seen more in a public way, whether you do music, you do art, you have a business, you do something like, I don't know, like something where it requires you to express, to speak your truth, or to like self-expression, really. Okay, communication as well. All right, so there is something here. Spirit is saying, okay, what was it? Okay, so the message here is about your nervous system, and how, like, basically what Spirit was telling me is that what's happening every time you put yourself out there, every time you put yourself into the spotlight, you're widening your ability to be exposed to like being seen. Okay, and in the channel message that I have here, it explains why you've had such an issue with this, or why this is like a hard thing for you. But right now Spirit is like wanting me to address and validate the fear, okay? Because there's this message here, and there's this like feeling that you're having, like you're being really kind of hard on yourself about like, oh, I'm not where I should be or where I want to be, and like it seems like it's so easy for others to just like put themselves out there, and like it's so difficult for me, and like it's like this inner dialogue of you kind of like putting yourself down, or like comparing yourself really to others' ability to be seen and exposed. And what Spirit is saying is, yeah, you know, maybe they've had more time to heal through that or work on that, but one thing's for sure, that the trauma that you have undergone in regards to being seen has been severe. So you have to really have compassion with yourself in like the reason why you have had to take this very slowly. Okay, you may be the kind of person where you don't like taking a long time to learn something. You don't like taking a long time to do things at all. Maybe you kind of find yourself rushing through projects even though you try to be present and slow down. Like you kind of are the kind of person where efficiency is very important to you, or just like getting things done, right? And you kind of tend to be a little impatient with yourself, because it's like you see yourself, you see a vision for yourself, but when you're not where you want to be, it's like you're like, man, why can't I get there faster? But Spirit is saying the reason why is because you have been healing through this. So every time you put yourself out there, even in a small way, you are healing. And what that looks like isn't what people think it looks like. It's not like, oh, I'm healed, like once I put myself out there. It's like, no. When you put yourself out there, it triggers your nervous system. You may find yourself feeling anxious, or feeling like, you know, maybe you deal with perfectionism and you want to do everything perfect, and so that already is triggering your nervous system and your anxiety. So it's like it takes a while to have to come down from that, and where you're not in a hypervigilant state, and where your body is at a calm energy again, right? Where you feel safe again. And so like basically what Spirit is saying is like every time you take the step and you put yourself out there, you're teaching your nervous system, you're teaching your ego, right? Because your ego is trying to protect you. That's why you kind of hold back too from putting yourself out there, is because your body doesn't feel safe. And this is because of the trauma that I'll get into with the channel message. But I feel like I need a burp, but it's not coming out. That could be a message too, where maybe you're feeling a little stagnant or a little stuck. So anyways, as I was saying, is like every time that you put yourself out there, you're expanding your ability to be exposed more and more, because you're teaching your nervous system that it is safe to do so now. Okay, so I'm going to get into the message and then this will kind of make more sense after I express. But Spirit is saying that there is a fear of being seen, because there is an awareness that when you allow yourself to be seen, there is access to your energy, that sacred, authentic energy. And your authentic self was taken advantage of in different ways. Some wanted to steal from your energy, some felt entitled to it, some had perverse thoughts toward you. Your energy is powerful, desirable, and sacred. It makes sense that you want to protect it, because no one protected you as a child when you were your authentic self, and they took advantage of you. You hiding is you being protective. It's not because you fear that you're not enough. It's because you fear your power, because others always wanted what you have, what you emit effortlessly. You're not that child anymore. You can trust yourself to protect yourself and your energy. So that was one message. And then so that kind of expresses like Spirit. And it's interesting because I myself have gone through this and am going through this as well. And I was like doing some shadow work too, and I was like trying to figure out like, well, is it because I feel like I'm not enough? Because I don't necessarily feel like it's because I'm not enough. And through meditation, Spirit showed me like, well, after this channel message and then after meditation and shadow work and everything, Spirit expressed, pretty much explained this process to me and like what's really going on. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. So this may resonate with you. Whoever's watching this, whoever's resonating with this message so far, about just, it's not that you feel like you're not enough, because you know that you're enough. It's what you fear others will do with access to your energy because of what they've done to it when you were younger and you didn't have anybody there to protect you. You didn't have anybody there, making sure nobody took advantage of you or did things to you that they weren't supposed to. There's a heavy energy here of like, just, I feel like whoever this message is for, you may resonate with like when you were a child. There's something about heavily here about boundaries. Like for whatever reason, people felt extremely entitled to your energy, but yet you weren't allowed to, like, you weren't entitled to theirs, if that makes sense too. It's like everybody's entitled to your energy, but then they are closed off with, I don't know if that makes sense, but that may resonate with somebody. Okay, there's also a message here about Spirit gave like a interesting spider analogy too. So Spirit was like, when you see a spider, how do you respond to it? And it was like interesting because how you respond to seeing a spider, because spiders, even though they represent power and creative energy, they're usually people usually fear spiders because of their power, right? And some people don't. Some people don't even, like, they're not afraid of them or whatever. But Spirit said, do you run from it? Do you kill it? Do you honor it? Do you fear it? Do you feel superior to it? And so, yeah, so spider represents power, creative energy, sexual energy, independence. And so basically the message with that one was like how you view a spider, how you treat a spider is how you treat your own power. Like that's kind of like the analogy. So you may find a connection with that. Like if you're, so when I was reflecting on that analogy, I was like, well, in the past I used to run from it. Like I used to like freak out and run. And I'm not necessarily that way as much anymore. Yeah, but however, like that was one analogy. I don't want to get too off topic, but because I tend to do that. But then there's another message here about so imagining yourself as a spider, okay? Because you are the spider. It says your web is your boundaries, and anyone who comes to attack you will get caught in the web, and you can eat that for dinner. Literally. That was from Spirit. That was so funny. It says essentially alchemizing any and all energies sent your way. It's all food. It's all energy. There was another message. The more energy, the more you allow yourself to be seen, the more energy will be on you, good or bad is relative, because that energy will go into your web. It says become comfortable and trust that the web that you create. It says become comfortable in that and trust the web that you created. Trust yourself. You have built a strong web. No one can come to destroy you now. You will literally eat them for lunch. Allow yourself to be desired, sought after, looked at, seen, perceived. Shine your light. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Your authenticity is the most powerful energy. So whatever happened to you when you were a child, where your energy, it's like you learned that you had to hide yourself to protect yourself. And you also learned that nobody else was around trying to protect you and keep you safe. You had to do that for yourself, and the only way that you could think of to do that is dim a lot of parts of yourself, dim your authentic expression, because you learned that you were more of a magnet when you were your true authentic self. People just gravitated towards you, you know, good but mostly bad, honestly, because what you were around. And I don't want to say like bad, but it's like, you know, harmful energies, or people that, like I said, felt entitled, people that wanted to take from you. They see and saw your light and they wanted to destroy it. They wanted it for themselves, okay? For whatever the heck reason, people would see you and be like, I want that for me. That should belong to me, not them. Crazy to me. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand that, because it's like everybody has their own gifts. Everybody has their own light. But it's like they see somebody else have, and like that's the thing too, is like, I don't know, you could resonate with like the chosen one, or like highly favored one, or, you know, like whatever. But I feel like we're all chosen in a way. Like, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, okay, but to each his own, whatever. Yeah. And then I was gonna pull some cards, and I shuffled, and the bottom of the deck was Ace of Swords, which is funny because this is like cutting through the truth, whatever truth, which is you. You are the truth. You are clarity. That's what I was trying to say, clarity. But yeah, this is you. You may also resonate with Archangel Michael. I don't know why I'm getting this right now. Okay, but like, I feel like Archangel Michael is like the protector of the Lemurians, like the starseeds. Like if you're a starseed, it's like Archangel Michael, because Archangel Michael is, you know, obviously a protective angel, but he's also one that cuts to the truth and brings clarity in situations. And if you're like looking to cut cords with somebody too, you call on Archangel Michael to protect you and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe you want to look into that, Archangel Michael. I call on Archangel Michael every day for protection and for helping cleanse energies from my space that don't belong. So yeah, I'm very close to Archangel Michael. I feel like more than my other archangels, which I feel like I'm trying to get more into connecting with my other archangels for sure. But Archangel Michael's a VIP, the main one. But anyways, yeah, I'm getting off topic. I'm gonna pull some cards. Maybe I might end this video now. I don't know. I'm gonna pause it, pull some cards, and then yeah, I'm gonna see if there's any other messages. Okay, like as I'm shuffling, I was getting this message here about like just keep putting yourself out there little by little, and like each win is a big win, even if it's small, even if you're putting yourself out there even just a little bit. Spirit is saying that, you know, don't be hard on yourself because you're not where others are, where you're not where you want to be exactly, or where you think that you should be. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Okay, the healing thing is a real thing. Okay, it's just like with a relationship. You know, if you have to heal from, like for me, for example, I was in this relationship where it was very healing for me to be with this partner, and I had to, like, this person literally taught me, like, I feel like they gave me above bare minimum treatment, but they felt like it was bare minimum. But before I was with them, I was getting below bare minimum treatment from my partners. And so being with this person healed me in a lot of ways, but it also felt very uncomfortable. Like when I received from them, I felt extremely uncomfortable. It would trigger me. I felt like an imposter, like I wasn't deserving. I had to go through years of healing with that within myself every time I got triggered. And each time I got a little bit, it's like I would isolate, and then I would like come back and be able to receive a little bit more each time. Once I reached my capacity, it's like I would isolate again, and then I would have to, you know, it was like a healing thing. And so like that's what I feel like. I don't know if that's making sense, but like that's how I feel like this is for you when you put yourself out there. It's like, even though you put yourself out there, you did so well, maybe you did so well, and it's like you still feel like you need to retreat because, you know, that it's real. Like the fear of being seen, it's like you're exposing yourself to something nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking, especially with the amount of trauma that you have in regards to being seen when you weren't safe when you were younger. You know what I mean? I really hope that this message is making sense, and I guess it'll make sense to who it's meant for. But yeah, it was funny as I was talking about that. 2 cups. But anyways, let's see if there is any extra messages from Spirit for this collective. Give me a second. I'm just getting another message too. I don't even think I'm gonna pull cards because I just keep getting channel messages. But Spirit is saying too, like, each time you show up, you will notice too, each time you show up again in the spotlight, putting yourself out there, being exposed in some way, and this doesn't even have to be, okay, whatever, I'm not gonna get into that yet, but each time you do that, you are, oh damn it, what was I gonna say? What was it? Oh yeah, each time you do that, you are showing up more authentically than the last time that you, like, were seen. The last time you expose yourself to being seen in a big way, you're more authentic. And that's like, that's the thing, is like the whole point isn't, you're not performing, okay, unless you're literally like, even if you were an actor, an aspiring actor, you're going to excel when you are your authentic self and you use that authentic energy in whatever character that you're playing, okay? But if this isn't for acting, this is like singing, or even like having a channel, something that I do, or something, you know, like you're not going to want to make an art piece that you're making it for somebody else. Like, oh, I hope that they like it. Like, how do I explain this? Like, you don't make an art piece like What would that person like me to make? No, you make an art piece of what you like to make, your gift, and whoever resonates with that, whoever resonates with you and your energy, that's who's going to buy your art. You don't make the art for what you think other people are going to like. And that's the thing, is like, I feel like that's how you used to be, or like it's like you, I don't want to say you pretended, but it's like, there was a lot of, you had to heal a lot through, it's like there's this energy of like needing to be perfect, like people pleasing. Like you wouldn't show up as your most authentic self because there was also people that, like I said, you know, mistreated that, you know, or like made fun of you, or whatever it was, whatever the case for you. Okay, I feel like I'm going all over the place, but basically what I'm trying to say, every time you come back and you show up, you're even like more up leveled, if that makes sense. You're more yourself because you're shedding like and that's the thing, is like you're literally just learning. Like this whole thing is about you feeling safe to be your authentic self, because you're not needing to show up as anybody but you. And that's scary as hell though. Like it sounds so simple, right? Like you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything right. You don't need to do everything right. You don't need to say everything right. You don't need to have all the right answers. You literally just got to be you. Why is that more scary though? But that's what you're working through. You're working through fears of being your authentic self. And like, as you do so, as you show up more authentically each and every time, you are teaching yourself, you're validating yourself too. Like that's another thing, but you're teaching yourself that it's safe to be you. Like even with this video, I usually am not all scattered all over the place with my videos. Like usually in the past, if I was kind of like in this energy, because this is like my natural energy, I'm a little bit more spazzy today. But this is usually like my energy, and usually in the past I would have just stopped recording and like started all over and probably paused a million times, and or maybe just stopped making the video altogether because I wasn't perfectly fluent, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's not about perfection, it's about authenticity, and that is what you are healing. That's what you're learning. Yeah, and your authentic truth is in your throat chakra, and this is where your abundance lies. Your authenticity, specifically for you, starseed, Lemurian starseed, that is your purpose, to be your authentic self. Because when you are your authentic self, you are fulfilling your purpose. That's all you have to do. That's literally all you have to do, is exist. And what is it that you love to do while you exist? That's also your purpose. But in all things that you do, you're authentic. And like, even if it's a job, okay, if you want to get a side job, or you have a job, is it authentic to you? Do you like what you do? Do you feel good in what you do? Just because, you know, it's not saying like, oh, I don't have to do anything, like I just have to exist and I'm gonna make an income. It's like, no, like you have things that are meant for you, that you enjoy doing, that you can give back into the world and society. But the point is, whatever role that you're in, job or passion or otherwise, even if you're a mom or a husband or a father, whatever, like whatever it is it authentic to you? Do you enjoy doing that? Like whatever role you have, you know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that it's not going to come with challenges. Of course it's going to come with challenges. But the biggest challenge is yourself, really, you know, and the safety thing again. But can you imagine how like far you're gonna, like how far you're gonna, how do I word this? It's like, can you imagine how good things are gonna get? Not necessarily because your truth is your authenticity is your abundance, but because you're going to be free. Like, that's what it's all about. You being able to be your authentic self and feel safe in that, that is true freedom. And that's all you really want. You're like, please, I just want to be myself. Just like kids. Like, they just want to exist and play and be themselves. And it's when we are conditioned and when we go through trauma where, you know, we're made to feel like our authentic self isn't, you know, liked or loved or accepted or whatever have you, or used against us or whatever it is. It's when those things happen to us that we start feeling depressed, or we start feeling like we isolate, and we're not being our, we're not, and that's the thing too, like, you're not giving to the world the way the world should be. Like, the world needs you, and the world doesn't need your mask. The world doesn't need more of you fulfilling a role that you don't enjoy being in. The world needs you. If you're going to work at a job, at least enjoy it by being your authentic self as you're working at that job. And try and choose a job, if you can, that at least aligns with something that feels good to you, something that aligns with your values, with your authentic truth. I feel like I'm getting really deep into this, and it's unnecessary at this point because I've made my point. But for those of you, oh my gosh, King of Pentacles, Two of Cups. This is not a love reading. We're not gonna, why? This is gonna have to be another message, because this is already about to be 30 minutes long. But I feel like too, if we're not reading this in a romantic aspect, sorry, I got notifications on my phone. Two of Cups, partnership. Man, I feel like you're, okay, if I'm gonna be honest with what I'm picking up, you being your authentic self is not only gonna bring in money, but it's gonna bring in your person, your authentic person, somebody who also is expressing their authentic truth, somebody who's also, it's like you, oh my gosh, that's what it is too. It's not even just it's not even just romantic, it's friendships too. Like, as you are your authentic self, it's kind of like too, like, you know, when you're like, how do I explain this? When you are trying to be somebody that you're not, it's like you will magnetize people that aren't for you. And then when you say something that they don't like and then they end up leaving, it's because they were never your people. You know what I mean? But when you show up as your authentic self and you don't hide yourself, you don't try to people please or be anything that you're not, and if people leave, they weren't meant for you. But now that you're stepping into your authentic self, you're magnetizing people that are meant for you. And anybody that's not is going to leave because they're going to be repulsed by your energy. Not because your energy is repulsive, clearly the opposite, but because they're not aligned with you. Or you trigger them. Most likely that. But that's because that was the purpose of them being in your life. If you trigger people, if people hate on you, you're sending them healing. You're sending them on their way, but you like leave them with healing and truth every single time. Don't ever doubt that, okay? Money and authentic connections is what I'm getting from this. This is what you're building. This is what you're creating. And this is coming in soon. I feel like that's what you're leaving behind. Like, I feel like like I just said, like you had these cups, these emotional relationships, they were not fulfilling because they weren't for you. They weren't even authentically aligned with you. Come on. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Okay? So yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for watching this far. You guys are amazing, because this video was hella long, so your attention span better than most. Maybe you had to stop it and come back sometimes, but yeah. If you guys want a personal reading, link is in the description box below, as well as a chakra reading, and as well as a a loved letter from a passed on loved one. If you're wanting to connect with a family member or somebody who has passed on, all of the description and links are in, the links are in the description box below, and when you go to my link tree, it has descriptions of each service that I offer, is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, that's the message. I hope that it resonates. If it does, please leave a comment, a like, subscribe. I love you.